Just a caveat, I'm a plastic surgeon, but I actually left clinical practice quite a few years ago, and I'm now the Vice President of Clinical Development, Scientific Innovation and Skincare R&D at Allergan Aesthetics at AbbVie. So the conference organisers asked me to come and give a recent updates on anti-aging and regenerative medicine. But I actually just wanted to take this opportunity just to reframe this a little bit and actually talk about thinking about how we should be living longer better, because I'd like to just take this opportunity just to ask you maybe to take some time to think about how we actually use the word anti-aging. It's across the conference all over in lots of different formats and presentations and will be continually in the field of aesthetics. But this is something that I think we need to maybe think about how we actually use the term anti-aging. So I ran, and I'm the co-founder of the Science of Aging. We ran our event yesterday, and so thank you to those of you who attended. That was co-chaired by Dr. Wang. And really the Science of Aging is a platform that was put together really to bring the latest developments from the field of aging science and longevity medicine and bring it into the aesthetics arena. And it explores how these discoveries can potentially translate to aesthetic medicine. And then ultimately we hope that this will bring into bringing this translational science into meaningful and personalized health that will then go down and lay down the vision of the future for aesthetic medicine. So longevity science is transforming and a new era is upon us, but we're not there yet. What we see constantly is that we're continuing to treat the signs and symptoms of aging rather than the root causes of aging. So when we start to look at the mechanisms of aging, this is where we will start to push and move away from treating the roots and the signs and symptoms of aging, and actually go down to looking at, instead of going to repair, start looking at rejuvenation, start looking at prejuvenation, and ultimately regenerative medicine. So this is an article that I co-authored talking about living longer better. And really it's just to think about actually the fact that aging is a universal underlying feature of all living organisms, tissues and cells. And we think that aging is inevitable, but actually the more that we're beginning to understand from aging science is that actually potentially it is malleable. And instead of thinking about how we are measuring age from a chronological point of view, there is an opportunity to think about things differently. So health span is all about putting the life into your years. This is really important because at the end of the day, we are all aging. Yes, there's going to be new mechanisms to help maybe slow down aging, but we all are aging. What does this mean? We're going to be working into our decades later. We're going to be living longer. And so we really need to be thinking about how we're supporting not just our bodies, but also supporting our mental and psychological health, as well as our physiological health. Good health is our greatest asset, and it's one of these things I think we all can probably agree that we take for granted until we lose it. So we really need to be thinking about what we're doing now to really enhance good health so that we are going to potentially expand our health span, and that means putting health and putting the life into our years. And the responsibility sits with all of us, individual societies, business, science, healthcare systems and governments. So globally we're living longer, and the population of over 60-year-olds back in 2020 was around about 13.5% globally. That's over 1 billion people. That's going to continue to grow and is set to double by the year 2050. This chart just shows you the increase of the median it's a percentage of the people sitting with age 60 in the different countries, and it shows you just how that's going to push out towards 2050. And so in some countries, for example in Russia, you see 20% of the population sitting around about 66 in 2017, and that's going to push out to 42% by the year 2050. So we're living longer. But when does old age, or when do you actually become old? This is such a subjective question, and it really is very dependent on so many different factors. So are you old when you are around about 66? And that's the average age that is reported globally, and that kind of sits relatively uniformly across different countries when that's the retirement age. So potentially you could say that you're old when the government says that you're old. But if you ask different cohorts, and this was a study conducted by Ipsos Mori, one of the biggest market research companies in the world, that asked over 20,000 people across 30 countries. And if you ask people who are aged 16 to 24-year-olds, old age starts at 61. But if you ask people who are a little bit older, age 55 to 64, they say that old age starts at 72. And actually it's even different when you live in different countries. So for example, if you're in Spain, old age starts around about 78. But if you're in Romania, old age starts at 49. So you can imagine being called old age 49. So when we look at that and start to look at it at chronological years, it's so subjective. And we all know that there are different people with different capacities and different capabilities. And so some 60-year-olds have actually less capabilities and capacity than 80-year-olds and vice versa. So I would think that there's definitely a better way that we can start to think about aging. So chronological age is your time on Earth. It's the number of years that you have lived on Earth. Biological aging is different. So biological aging is actually looking at aging from cellular and molecular level. And it is an accumulation of a wide variety of molecular and cellular damage over time. And recently that has been attributed to some common cellular mechanisms called the hallmarks of aging. Originally back in 2013 when it was published, there were 9 hallmarks of aging, and over the 10 years they've added on another 3. So we've got 12 hallmarks of aging, and these include genomic instability, telomere length and attrition, epigenetic alterations, accumulation of chronic inflammation, as well as looking at things like cellular senescence. And this is really a better way to really be able to understand how healthy you are as you are aging. And the changes are not linear nor consistent and only loosely associated with a person's chronological age. And so there's no typical, and we know that there's no typical presentation of old age, and this also has consequences for planning for old age. And we know that there are different factors that play in to your aging process. So there's a genetic and there's the epigenetics, and genetics used to be thought to be much more important in being able to predict how you're going to age, but now they say it's around about 25% of your the prediction for aging. And so that means with the epigenetics, there is an opportunity to actually change the way you're aging and potentially intervene and change the process and progress of aging. So aging stereotypes is really important. So self-perception of aging is influenced by an individual's own experience in personal environmental interactions. Societal views and stereotypes can lead to anxiety and concerns about reaching later life, and therefore negatively impact health. And ageism was coined by Butler, who's a gerontologist, as a process of systematically stereotyping or discriminating against people with when they are old. So what does this mean? It means that we can make us very negative about aging, and I'm sure many of you have got probably Generation Z or Generation Z and patients in your clinic who actually are even more concerned and even scared, have got even greater concerns about aging. And you can see in different countries. In India, they're a bit more positive about aging. South Korea, about 40% are looking forward to aging, and it goes all the way down to 7% are looking forward to aging in Hungary. So this is important. And actually, having a positive psychology towards aging can be very meaningful. So negative attitudes to aging matter. But there was a study conducted by researchers at Yale who identified there's different time on it's 5 minutes, okay. So I'm going to have to move different time on my timer there. This was a study that actually showed a longitudinal study asking individuals around different indices with regards to their self-perception of aging. So measured 23 years prior and then again 23 years later. And it showed that actually if you have a positive attitude towards aging, you can actually add on 7.5 years onto your life. So therefore, I think there's definitely an opportunity to be changing the narrative. Instead of using your words anti-aging, we can actually start thinking about maybe being pro-health or pro-longevity. And this is about, as I say, increasing the life into our years. I'm going to just speed on because I've got a little bit less time than I thought I did. So quality sleep is incredibly important. This is something that is an incredible opportunity to be able to enhance the way we're aging. It has got so many different factors that help cognitive function, muscle repair, the immune system. It may even enhance longevity. So there's a large pooled analysis looking at systematic review and a meta-analysis. And it would suggest that actually for those of you, the individuals who sleep between 6 to 9 hours per night actually have a decreased increase of all-cause mortality. And we know that quality sleep can help metabolic homeostasis. So how does this impact healthy skin? Well, there's plenty of studies out there to show that good quality skin is a key fundamental general approach to both health span and healthy skin. And that has been shown that chronic, inadequate and poor quality sleep accelerates intrinsic aging, and poor sleepers have significantly diminished capacity to recover from stress. And there's also a study that was conducted in Sweden that actually said that restricted sleep affects facial appearance negatively and decreases others' willingness to socialize. And we know that socialization and socializing rather is something that's rather positive on longevity. And also we know that maintaining skin has got a functional benefit, so we need to be thinking about that as we are supporting our populations as they age, because fragile skin is a major concern for elderly patients and therefore causing substantial morbidity. So investing in skin health is an important part of a holistic approach to good health in later years. So just to touch upon regenerative medicine, so there's so many, and Tatiana presented a really eloquent overview of all the different elements of regenerative medicine. There was a really interesting piece of work done by the Reframing Institute in Cambridge, and that was published back in 2022, and it hit the headlines because it was a very exciting potential new opportunity in how we can potentially be thinking about future treatment options, not only for skin but other tissues. And really, what the headline itself actually said that they took cells from a 53-year-old woman and were able to rejuvenate back down to more closely aligned with a 23-year-old woman. And we know that the cellular level, aging is associated with reduced function, altered gene expression, and a perturbed epigenome. And we think that actually the epigenome can be rejuvenated by cell reprogramming. It's certainly been shown in preclinical models, and Yamanaki actually got a Nobel Prize being able to demonstrate this. But the team here in Cambridge brought through a novel transient phase reprogramming. And so basically they expose the cells selectively expressing reprogramming factors until the rejuvenation point, and then withdraws them. So instead of the induced pluripotent stem cell reprogramming method, which pushes it all the way back to the embryonic stage, they actually remove the reprogramming factors at the rejuvenation phase. And what they found that when they applied this to human dermal fibroblasts, from middle-aged donors, the cells temporarily lost and then reacquired the fibroblast identity. So they actually reacquired the fibroblast morphology, and not only that, they actually looked at multiple cellular attributes, and they measured the DNA methylation, they measured epigenetics, and they also applied a novel transcriptomic bioclock to be able to measure that, and all of them converged to show that there was a significant evidence of rejuvenation. So this is very exciting. This shows that there are maybe potentials to apply this to skin biology, and they're also very excited about how this could be applied to neurons. But of course, this is limited at the moment. This hasn't been translated into in vivo studies, nor obviously into the clinical trials, but there's certainly potential here. So when we're looking at longevity medicine, we're looking at aging science, technology is going to be really key, and this is where we'll be seeing the application of AI, and that will be incredibly important as we're looking at effective biomarkers to be able to measure the impact on aging as a system. We'll use multiple data types, looking at DNA methylation, gene expression, microbiome, and imaging technology. And what we will eventually move towards is having real-time tracking parameters so that we as people can actually make those decisions to take those interventions and actually take a proactive role in health. And that really is looking at how we can continue to push for a healthier demographic as we grow older. And how does this translate? This really does demonstrate that we will be able to move away from just treating the signs and symptoms of aging and actually be looking at the root cause of aging. We'll move towards a more personalised approach, and we will also be looking at how we can continue to look at biomarker identification through genetic profiling and epigenetic profiling. So just want to finish with the words of living longer, better. So aging is a complex phenomenon, and it's become one of the most pressing challenges over time. We need to reframe aging in a similar way that we have done with LGBTQ and proactively embrace it and understand it. As humanity, we have a great and a huge big opportunity here, and technology is going to play a very important role. So I'd just like to leave you with the words that in the future, age will become irrelevant, and we will not be talking about the chronological age, we'll actually be talking about biological age, and we'll also be looking at improving people's self-confidence, self-esteem, and overall quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Guang, for the update. We will start the opening ceremony. 我们要开始这个开幕的仪式哈。那
Representing the AMWC Asia TDAC, we'll highly appreciate you. Big applause to welcome Her Honorable Vice President B. King Shao for her attendance to our meeting. Thank you, Vice President Shao. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jennifer Wu, a dermatologist from Chang'e Memorial Hospital, Taipei, Taiwan. On behalf of the organizing committee, welcome to the 6th Aesthetic Medicine World Congress, AMWC Asia, and the 11th Taiwan Dermatology Aesthetic Conference, TDAC, and the 11th Asian Society for Pigment Cell Research, ASPCR Annual Congress, held here in Taipei, Taiwan. It's truly a privilege to host these three conferences together in Taipei, and we are honored to join here today. The organizing committee has invited 5 guests of honor to give us a few words on this occasion. Now we are delighted to invite Professor Xiao Zhao, President of the Taiwanese Dermatological Association, for the opening remark. Let's give a big round of applause for Professor Zhao. Thank you.
Vice President Xiao and dear colleagues, it's my honor to represent the Taiwanese Dermatology Association to welcome all our guest speakers and moderator and all colleagues from around the world to attend the AMWC Asia TDA 2024 in Taipei. I want to thank all the members to organize this meeting, especially Dr. Peng Xianli, Dr. Lan Zhenzhe, and Dr. Wang Zhaoqing. And I would hope everybody can enjoy this meeting and learn more about the scientific information and technique. And if you have time, I want you to visit beautiful Taiwan. Thanks.
Thank you, Professor Zhao. Now we invite Dr. Xianli Peter Pan, President of Taiwan Society for Dermatological and Aesthetic Surgery, TSDAS. Let's give a big hand to Dr. Pan. Thank you, Dr. Pan.
Thank you for the kind introduction. I'd like to welcome all of you, Vice President Xiao and our President Zhao and President Lan and Director of the AMWC and all the distinguished speakers and the moderators and the participation physicians. We have more than 600 doctors from overseas to join this meeting. Without all the organizers, speakers, moderators, we cannot have a successful meeting. So thank you very much. I hope you, like me, enjoy this meeting. I learned a lot from this plenary session. I hope you hold the meeting and take a time to sightsee in Taiwan and to enjoy the food here. So let's welcome again. Thank you again for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Pan. Now we invite Professor Eric Chen Line, President of Asian Society for Pigment Cell Research, ASPCR. Let's give a big applause to Professor Lin, please.
Vice President Xiao, President Zhao, President Peng, dear colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen. The world is moving at a very fast pace, and it is important that we share our knowledge and with each other, not only from our neighbors, but also from the entire international community. And this meeting, organized by TDA, AMWC, and PCR, it's a very nice presentation of this concept. I believe in this meeting, we all have established new friendships and strengthened the collaborations around the world. Working together, we will be able to provide better skin health to our societies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Lin. Now we invite Mr. Chris Luino, Managing Director of AMWC. Another round of applause for Mr. Luino, please.
Thank you. In first place, I would like to thank the Vice President Xiao for her presence and support to the MWC here in Taiwan. Also, very important, it's 8 years that we met in first place with the members of the TDA and TADS and could finally build this very successful Congress. I want to thank them for their friendship, for the quality of the science they bring to this international Congress. And as well, I would like to thank all the participants, the industry, and of course the speakers for their contribution to make MWC a very successful Congress in Taiwan. Finally, thank you to both the very hard workers, the team from the TDA and TDAS, and the MWC team for putting together this fantastic event. It's the second largest MWC in the world, and it's in Taiwan. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all.
Thank you, Mr. Luino. Now, I'll take great pleasure representing the organizing committee of AMWC TDAC to invite her Honorable Vice President Mei-Qing Xiao an opening remark to this conference. Please, Vice President Xiao.
President of TDA, Dr. Zhao, President of TSDAS, Dr. Peng, President of ASPCR, Dr. Lan, distinguished guests and esteemed medical experts. Good morning, and thank you to the Taiwanese Dermatological Association for inviting me to this opening event of this forward-looking medical academic seminar. I appreciate the opportunity to meet with you all and to witness your focus and dedication to the medical field, which reinforces my belief that Taiwan can play a positive role in contributing to international medical advances. The AMWC Asia, TDAC, has entered its 11th year. Over the past decade, this major event in Taiwan's dermatology and aesthetic medicine community has served as a key platform for expert exchange, sharing the latest medical knowledge technological innovations, and health maintenance practices. This year's agenda is particularly rich, featuring many top experts and scholars from home and abroad who will share their experiences. There are also live demonstrations and diverse educational courses designed to elevate the standards of dermatology medicine, both domestically and internationally. I am very much encouraged by the active and diverse participation. In addition to the Dermatological Association, the Society for Dermatological and Aesthetic Surgery, and the Asian Society of Pigment Cell Research are also present for this event. Through this symposium, experts from these communities can not only learn from each other, but also foster cross-domain cooperation and integration of medical knowledge in dermatology-related fields. This includes medical science related to skin diseases as well as skin aesthetics, anti-aging medicine, holistic care, and more. Areas of great interest for many people. Several lecture topics at this symposium have sparked new ideas and insights. Advancements in medical technology can bring more precision and higher quality medical services to everyone. Regardless of gender or age, many people care a great deal about their appearances, skin condition, and skin health. Aesthetic medicine can help in these areas, and your efforts in integrating achievements in this field of medicine, science, and aesthetics can help create a healthier world. And I really liked the words that were on the screen when I walked in the previous presentation about living longer, but also better. Today, we are gathered with doctors, researchers, and practitioners of profound knowledge and extraordinary professionalism. Your dedication to using your expertise to benefit those in need showcases Taiwan's soft power in collaboration with the international community in this area of dermatological medicine. And finally, since this Congress takes place also on the occasion of the global gathering of public health experts at the World Health Assembly, I'd like to say a few words in gratitude to the governments and representatives of a number of countries who have consistently supported Taiwan's meaningful participation in the World Health Organization and its annual World Health Assembly. No one should be excluded. We have learned from the terrible global pandemic that we must leave no one behind. Taiwan is willing and able to be part of the global health system. So I want to particularly highlight the need for continuing to embrace Taiwan's international participation in all fields of medicine and health. And once again, I would like to thank the organizers for this invitation to be with you, and I wish the Congress every success. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Shao. Could Honorable Vice President Shao please remain on stage? And could all our honorable guests please come up on stage for a group photo? We will invite Professor Zhao Xiaoqiu, the President of Taiwanese Dermatology Association, Dr. Peter Pan, President of the Taiwan Society of Dermatological and Aesthetic Surgery, Professor Erichen Lan, President of Asian Society of Pigment Cell Research, and Mr. Chris Luvino, Managing Director of ANWC, Professor Yu Hui Huang, Chair of Public Affairs Committee of Taiwanese Dermatological Association, and Dr. Chao Qing Wang, Secretary General of ANWC Asia. Please come to stage and take a group photo, please. The Honorable Vice President Xiao, please remain on stage.
哪边？每次都搞得不去，哦，天哪！哦，这是在整我了，哦天哪！学长，对，谢谢。哦。太快了吧！水哦，感谢，非常谢谢。来喽！带错边啦，带错边啦！尴尬，真的。哦。谢谢，非常谢谢。喂，你好。哎，对，收了。哦 ，OK， 对。哦，谢谢，拜拜。可惜。
一样这个是小人。